settle for that.
Alright.
And we're synced. Hey, Wilson.
And welcome back to the... I completely shut up!
No. All right, fine. I shut up.
And welcome back to the 8 Spot Podcast. I'm Wilson.
I'm Jay.
I'm LJ.
I'm Mark.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing
Alright.
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing alright.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
You look like you're doing wonderful.
Fantastic.
You're doing better than I am.
Well, we just took a break. Why don't you get... You know what?
No, I'm
I
good.
did
I'm
this.
good. It's fine. I'm fine.
So, what are
It's
we talking
all
about
good.
now?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Trek Online is going to be on Xbox Live soon.
Oh, really?
That's not what we're talking about.
Oh,
But wait, actually, hold on. Hold
But wait.
Oh, really? They're bringing
Go.
Star Trek Online to Xbox Live?
yeah.
Like the way they do
Xbox
Disney
and
Universe?
yeah, very
For
much
console?
so. But they announced this one.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah.
funny because just like DCU Online, this game is like over 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on PC, which I've played and did actually a lot of time on that.
Is it a good game?
It's if you like micromanagement, it's a great game. So you might like it because you like Papers, Please.
Papers, Papers,
Hold
Please
on.
is a good game, though. I will
I
say.
haven't played it, but it does have a lot of micromanagement.
I liked it a lot, but I only played it for like maybe an hour and a half. But that hour and a half was really good.
Yeah.
So
So
you
you
don't
might
need
like
to play
Star-
it anymore after
So
that.
you might like Star Trek.
For an hour and a half.
You might like it longer because it's Star Trek. If you like Star Trek.
Well, it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
But it's
try
tough
it.
to, like buy. Yeah.
There's stuff to buy, but if you like it, try it.
Yeah, but then I guess you want to upgrade your ships and everything.
You don't need to buy anything. You can just upgrade.
Jay, how
as
much
you
money
go.
have you spent on Star Citizen?
So about Star Trek, have you all heard about the new rules that Paramount has
Yeah, I heard
instituted
about
for
that.
fan
I have
film?
not.
Yeah.
I have heard about it and
You
read
can't-
a little bit about it.
Crazy.
But let's start for what caused it, pretty much.
Started it was this little project called Axanar.
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 Okay.
It's a fan film for Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
and they did a Kickstarter for it, and they raised about $600,000 on Kickstarter.
Something like that.
On top of that, they did an Indiegogo.
They did an Indiegogo and a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I want
They
to say
were
they've raised.
crowdfunding the film, basically.
So
the
they did-
full-length
they did-
movie.
Well, they crowdfunded more than the film,
Well, what?
but they raised close to like 7 figures total. But what they've basically done with this money is started their own studio, and their intention they've stated is to make other things besides just the Star Trek fan film.
Mm-hmm.
So they've basically made money off of the Star Trek name, and Star Trek's been suing them. And I didn't even know the whole story until like this past week. I didn't really care that much. It just felt like, Paramount.
For a lot of headlines I was reading, it was
Yeah.
basically... There's been Star Trek fan fiction out there.
Sure.
There's Phase 2, there's there's at least 4 or 5 different
New
Star
World
Treks.
I hear Star Trek Continues is actually pretty good.
Right. And again, YouTube type shows, and most of the time, Paramount's been fine about it. They've gone as far as like recreating the Bridge of the Enterprise, costumes and everything. They
And
go
actors,
all out.
they-
And
yeah,
actors.
they've got
Nichelle
all
Nichols was on in one
Yeah,
of them.
they
the
quite
guy
a
who
few
did
of the
Chekhov, I
actors.
forget his name.
Walter
Walter
Koenig.
Koenig.
Walter Koenig was in one of them.
Tuvok has been in a bunch of them.
Tuvok directed one of them.
Yeah, the guy who was in Voyager, he was the Korean guy in Voyager.
The Korean guy in Voyager.
Kim.
Kim.
Oh,
That's it,
okay, Kim. Yes.
Like
The Double Girl from DS9.
yeah.
Well, guess what?
The guy
He's-
who was Martok in DS9. Like a bunch of them.
And this Axanar has some old actors too, like Tony Todd, who did something in Star Trek. I don't
He did a
remember
lot
that.
in Star Trek.
Yeah, I
we'll just
forget
say
who-
that.
Yeah, like,
Well,
and other actors and actresses. And now these new guidelines from Paramount, they don't allow that anymore.
Yeah.
If you're
So like an exclusivity contract, you can't use.
well, if you're gonna make a Star Trek fan film, you're obligated to not use Star Trek actors or even I guess directors and stuff like that.
Former Star Trek personnel who
Correct.
were involved in
Shows
creative
can't be
content.
more
cannot
than
use
12
Starfleet
minutes
personnel.
long.
I think it's 15 minutes long.
15.
For one part, and
Yeah.
and if you have 2 parts, it can't be more than 30 minutes total.
Right.
Very interesting.
It is
Yeah.
pretty restrictive. But then these Axanar people, like I said, they built their own studio with this money. I think they're selling merchandise based on the fan fiction too.
So did the film come out? The fan film? That
No,
put
they
out?
were in
No,
production.
it's huh?
They were in production. Like they were in the middle of production
Yeah.
because like I think they were as they were getting crowdfunded, they started going,
Mm-hmm.
and then because they made over what they made,
Mm-hmm.
it was just like
That's-
Paramount and CBS had to step in. Like you guys gotta shut down because now
Mhm.
you're making money on our IP and we can't have
Yeah, they
that.
did like a 15-minute intro or prelude to
Yeah,
Exonaut?
they had a trailer.
I didn't actually watch it
That
yet.
was a long trailer too. It was pretty
And
good.
I gotta admit, the production values are there.
Mhm.
I mean, it looks professional. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
would kind of make Star Trek look bad if this came out
Really.
in that sense. So I kind of got to side with Paramount on this issue a little bit.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you know, this is a
They're
company
protecting their property and
Sure, I
These
mean,
people have basically ruined it for everyone else who wants to do Star Trek fan films.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get it though. I mean, they made a lot of money, about $1 million off of their IP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they're not getting a penny of that. You know, I get it. You know,
I mean,
like
the only thing I could see that Paramount and CBS are doing in this is that because they're starting
it's a
to,
bad precedent. You know,
and they're
because-
actually because since Enterprise went off the air, there hasn't been any new Star Trek show.
how long
so-
ago was that?
2006, 2007.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like there's been a ton of fan films on YouTube. There's one company who did at least 3 or 4, and they've had actors, but it's just like all of a sudden now that they're pushing to do a new show, all of a sudden they're just going, yeah, you've made a lot of money, but we want to now protect our IP that we're going to
Sure.
use again. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
get it.
but all this other stuff that's come out, just like there's some stuff that were in a middle of a production. There's one that was like a show that I think it was Continues, right? Where
Star Trek Continues has like 6 episodes,
okay,
like an hour long each almost.
Yeah, so
Let me-
that one is
let
probably
me-
gonna be dead in the water.
Let me ask you a question. So, Axonar basically was able to get, I'm just going to say $1 million. So they got $1 million off of this. And the original intent was to create this fan film based off Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they're taking that money and doing it like, studio, we're going to make other films.
Yeah.
What if they took all that $1 million to make just a Star Trek fan film? I mean, they got a surplus of money more than they need. I mean, like, they're already restricted by... Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
they're paying themselves salaries.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, that's...
Wow.
You form an LLC. I mean, you,
But again, you're doing it based on Star Trek's intellectual
Yeah.
property.
No, I understand
Uh,
that, but I mean, like at the same time, like, you know, it was a. When does the good idea of creating a fan film turn bad? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
When
where's
you're
that?
profiting from
When is? But I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you're correct. But I mean, it's. If you're doing it yourself, you know, you're not asking for. They're distributing. I'm assuming they're going to distribute like online and not
Yeah,
pay for it.
they were
Yeah.
going through
They're not
YouTube
going to
with
do like get profit off the
Yeah.
actual residuals of the final film.
that was never their plan.
See,
apparently.
but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, where's the bad point? Like, they're it's like they raised the money. They're giving themselves money to live to create the film and then other stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, where does it turn bad? Really, it's giving them a salary? Like, I mean, if they give up their day jobs to do this, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, where do we draw the line? Where is it a bad problem? You know,
But
again,
again,
if
this
we're doing
is
exorbitant.
Paramount's intellectual property.
Yeah.
No. I get that. I guess my thing is like, but fan films are good though, right? Don't we like fan films?
We like fan films, but
Yeah, sure,
the
sure.
companies don't like fan films because in their eyes, you gotta remember,
That's
it's a
com-
very old idea in Hollywood
Mhm.
that YouTube and the internet is taking money away from us. So
yeah.
anything on the internet is gonna take money away from us somehow.
Yeah.
If it's on the internet, it's taking money from us
But there are tons of Star Wars fan films, and they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
to an extent.
But they weren't making a feature length film. They're just
Yeah.
a couple of guys playing in their backyard with lightsabers.
I mean, is
Mhm.
that the line? I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I'm curious.
And
like, where does
it's
that
10
line,
minutes. Maybe
where does that
that's
line
where-
get
No,
crossed?
some of them look good though.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, they
yeah.
look really
Like,
good,
I've-
and,
yeah,
and
I've
I've
Yeah.
heard stories that some of those guys are actually hired
Yeah.
to make films.
By the way, I'm playing total devil's advocate.
No, I understand what
I'm-
you mean.
because
Because
like,
there is
I
that
li-
fine line.
I
There
like
is
because
that-
I like fan films myself.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, it's like for me drawing Spider-Man. You know, I like sketching Spider-Man. He's quick
Yeah,
and
he's a
easy
great
for me to
character.
draw a sketch. Now, if I sell that sketch, it's fine. But if I make a copy of that sketch and then sell the copies, that's where I'm breaking the law. I'm breaking the IP law at that
Mhm.
point. So
oh, for production, yeah. Okay.
you know, because
Mhm.
you're using a machine to create a bunch
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
of it. So again, it's that weird fine line. As we don't want anyone making Section
Money,
8
of
comic books
course.
except for us. And no one's making money off of that at all. So I think I would hate to find out someone's
someone else-
making money off of that.
Like, how are you doing? We're not.
Right.
I guess,
think-
like I said, it's one of those things where, like, I want to know where does that become a bad, so to speak. Because
I think it comes down to what is. Maybe it's no longer fan fiction when you're actually selling a full length movie.
But again, they're not selling it. They're creating it and distributing it for free.
Yeah,
That's where the whole
But
thing is.
aren't
That was
they
never to make money, and
but
they
aren't
made
they
money.
pre-selling it by doing the crowdfunding? Because
Well-
then now you're
well,
pre-selling the movie.
Again, the whole thing about with crowdfunding is that you're just getting donations at that point. I mean, that's what crowdfunding is, you know.
No,
help us, give us money to give out a product.
I understand that. You
Cause
understand
yeah,
that. But the lawyers for Paramount
Yeah, sure,
says
sure.
something
Again,
else.
well, something we talked about where it's at the end of the story, it's a lawyer's game. How much
Yeah.
do the lawyers want to, what's the word, validate their jobs? You're paying us this much money, we're going to go through everything. Like,
Look at it this way. I mean, they hired Tony Todd to play his role
Yeah.
in this movie. Well, Tony Todd now is making money off of Star Trek. And
Yeah,
he's making money off the title of Star Trek.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
So-
again, like I understand, this is one
And
of
then
those
it
things where,
goes to
like,
the point where that these people are so talented to be able to create something that looks just as good as a Star Trek movie. Why not create their own IP?
That's another thing. They're also doing novellas
oh really?
on this Axanar part of the Star Trek universe and
Okay.
selling those.
Oh, there's something. Okay.
Okay? You see, no, these
Oh,
people.
the-
See that to
selling,
me.
that's bad.
See, to me, you know, again, once you make profit off the actual thing, yeah, of course, and stuff like that. But again, if you make it free, if you make it, whatever you get to make, it's fine. If you distribute it all for free, then like,
This is just more than a fan film.
yeah, okay, fair enough. And again, like, what do you consider it then? Like, you know, like, I'm not saying you in general, but like, what do you?
And
It's a
what
breach
I-
of copyright.
What I find
A felony.
amazing is that what I do find amazing is that because of the way some crowdfund things go, they don't make the movie because Paramount says no. They still get to keep all that money.
Yeah.
And then, so you could almost create a production house and go, we could turn around, we're going to make the next X-Men book as good as possible as Marvel. And then when Marvel shuts us down, we just keep the
Maybe
money.
this is a big producer's scam. We don't know.
Hey man, that's Donald Trump. Anyway, so what?
So it's the producers in movie format.
I mean, that's not a
Oh,
horrible
the
idea.
idea.
Imagine if this effort went into making something original.
But
Then who would buy it because it doesn't have a recognizable
Yeah,
name?
like if it was just
that's the whole
like,
thing.
if it was
you know,
something you
like,
turn
But
around
look,
and say,
you mentioned Star Citizen in the beginning. Star Citizen is really just Wing Commander with some extra dressing.
you also have the
You also have
creative.
Chris Roberts, yeah.
I was about to say the
the
creative
guy
team behind it.
Yeah.
And
but
you got
they've
some-
hired professional Star Trek people too. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where like
make it
it's-
Star
it's-
Trek-ish. I don't know what the answer is there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know.
Again, it's an interesting thing to like.
But yeah, but the Wing Commander isn't. I mean, Star Citizen isn't entirely original in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, I think we talked about in the last podcast, like a truly new IP usually gets shot down because there's no recognition against it unless you spend a shit ton of money to market it and throw it in everyone's face so they can get that recognition for it's like, oh, I saw this on this YouTube video, I saw this
Well,
commercial.
like the novellas I mentioned, I believe they got people who wrote things for Star Trek before to do these things.
Dude, man.
Yeah.
Really? No, this is this. The
I mean, look,
hole
again,
goes deep,
the rabbit holes. But again, I'm totally playing devil's advocate because again, I'm a big supporter of fan films. I like fan films. I like that, like you know, anyone could go in their backyard and make a thing.
Right.
Holy shit! Did you hear about the movie called Raiders?
Yeah.
Which is basically.
I heard about
So basically, it's like these two kids that start off in the '80s wanted to make a shot-for-shot remake of the original Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
Like literally shot for shot. They almost burned down their parents' house because the scene with the things on fire. They go.
They didn't know about special effects. They lit
So
things on fire.
They lit shit on fire and stuff like that. They made it on like old VHS tapes, and I think it took them somewhere in the 30 years to complete some of the shots.
30 years?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're
Then they
adults.
would stop doing it, and then they'll
I think
start
I-
up again.
Yeah.
I think
I
the
don't have the
airplane
full
thing,
story.
they had to wait till like they were all adults to shoot it.
Yeah. Because the scene where they set the airplane on
Yeah.
on fire, they blow up an airplane with the
Yeah.
fucking Nazis, the swastika on and everything like that. So certain things they couldn't do as
So
kids.
they had to wait till they grew up so they could buy an actual Nazi plane.
Yeah.
And they're harder to get now than
Yeah,
in the
right.
past.
That's some long-term planning.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it was just like, you know, they just kind of put it on hold, and I don't know the full story, but I believe they just said like, well, we can't finish now, and then they came to a point where they could finish it. So like some scenes they're like teenagers, and then the next scenes are like late 20s. So like,
That's pretty funny.
yeah,
actually.
it's a very interesting thing. I saw the trailer.
So that's a documentary of them making.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest, I don't know if it's a documentary of them making it or the actual release of
The film?
the film, like
Right.
shot for shot, like
But
you
you
know,
see-
them as kids.
But the difference between that is, when they started off this plan, They didn't have a plan to distribute.
Mhm.
Their plan was just we're just gonna screw
There were
around
two
with
kids.
a VHS camera.
Yeah, there were two kids.
Yeah.
Like, well, I want to be Indiana Jones. Why the fuck not? You know?
So and then that's what they did. But now because you got things like YouTube, Vimeo, Daily
All these
Motion,
yeah.
it's just like
Like,
there's
all
a way
like
to
the
profit
from-
from it in some way.
But again, I think that's a breach because if you're doing a shot-for-shot remake of The Raiders of the Lost
Mhm.
Ark,
When you make
Yeah.
because they're releasing it at like theaters though, you know.
Mhm.
so I think it has to be a
But,
Well, they're
documentary.
releasing
that's now a
documentary.
documentary
They're releasing
of
a documentary
kids
of what
they
filming.
Yeah.
So it's a different.
Now it's creepier.
Yeah, right.
Releasing a documentary of kids playing in their yard. Yeah.
You got that old man voice from Family Guy. Yes.
Get your ass over here.
I bet Mark can't wait for them to turn 18.
Yeah, right. Let's go back to the last podcast. Eric will insert the scene right here. I'm just gonna give Eric work.
Annotation.
I'm gonna give Eric work to do. He's gonna hate me.
Annotation.
He already does.
Speaking of
Hating.
Eric hating you?
cinematic, no, we can talk. We've talked about that.
That's
for
his
like-
own podcast.
We don't have enough space on these drives for that.
Have you seen? Speaking of a movie version of Producers, have you heard of? I believe it's called Food Wars. There's an animated movie that took about 10 years to
Food
make.
Fight.
Food Fight. Yes. Have you heard about this movie?
Go
I watched a Nostalgia Critics review of it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Apparently it cost $60 million.
Somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
However, the animation is really horrendous. Eric
It-
Buddha is still of it right now, and you can tell how bad it is.
It is
Oh wow, that's bad.
It's really
abominable. Oh my god.
And they got some pretty decent names. They got Wayne Brady, Hilary Duff,
The star is Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, Ava Mendes, I believe, is in there. Or could be wrong with that.
I half expected you to say Epigoda.
Ava Pagoda? Is Ava Pagoda dead? Unfortunately, the website says yes, now.
Aw.
Rip. So fuck your
Right
house,
on the
Jay.
table.
But yeah, so it's I have not seen a Nostalgia Critics review of it. However,
Wanna
it
watch it
seems
now?
to be an appalling film.
How'd you hear about it?
Reddit, of course. Basically, and they basically did a whole.
Everything you know is from Reddit.
I mean, I need something to do at work. It's a good bathroom activity. Reddit. It's a really good bathroom activity.
I can't. I tried.
You can't go to the bathroom.
No,
You
Reddit.
need to talk to someone.
Yeah,
Uh,
Reddit. I've tried. I just can't.
Yeah, I was not a fan the first time on it. Then like once I understood like the breakdown and stuff like that.
And
Anyway,
the way the layout's too old school message board where it's just
I
everything
grew
kinda
up.
goes.
I grew up on old school message boards,
Yeah.
I guess. So
I
like,
did too, and I didn't like them then.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I just like straight down.
It's all I had at the time.
Are new school message boards that much better?
I
Really?
couldn't tell you. I haven't been to one in a while.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like.
Like, it went from AOL to message boards to just AIM, and then I just left the internet in terms of messaging like that.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
I just go
over
for
Blogger.
porn, and that's it.
yeah, okay. So anyway, like basically, the whole thing about Food Fight that I saw was the movie cost near $60-some million. The animation apparently was stolen from hard drives, and they had to redo everything, which is why it took 10 years for the film to come out. However, saying that it's been redone, it looks like 2 college students made it, in the course of like 6 months. It's really bad, really horrendous animation. And the story itself is pretty crap. And the one thing is that I think that helped is I didn't see the Nostalgia Critics, so I don't know how much information about it. But there's something regarding like they got actual food endorsements from food companies to get monies like from like
Charlie the Tuna.
Charlie Tuna, like Aunt
The
Jemima.
Aunt Jemima's in it.
Yeah, so there's all these different like food
California
products.
raisins.
Yeah, so they just got like here's some money to put the thing and really
It's a train wreck.
yeah.
It's a flaming train wreck.
Yeah. I'm tempted to see it.
Don't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
would
do
you
that to
suggest
yourself.
watching the Nostalgia Critic?
It's
Sure.
shorter. It's like
Okay.
half an hour.
Yeah, Nostalgia Critic though is pretty spot on for the
yeah.
most part. I dig him.
And yeah, he'll tell you everything you need to know about that film. I'm sure.
Yeah, Nostalgia Critic's pretty good. Who else is pretty good is Movie Bob that I've been getting into a lot more recently. His vitriol.
He gets as angry as I do sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things he says, but I do enjoy
You know, when he's really angry,
that
like,
Boston accent.
it just comes out. Like I've watched some of his stuff because I forget who's carrying him right now, but like
He sounds like a Family Guy
In
character.
Bob We Trust,
Yeah.
like some of his stuff, he's very calm, collected, but his just ranting is just like, wow, his accent is just
Does he ramp up the speed on his videos for like when he's talking?
I don't
Or does
know.
he normally just talk that fucking fast?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you can
yeah,
talk that
probably.
fast.
And I believe that he can talk because like I know he edits it out so there's no space, there's no dead air.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he ramped it up like 0.2 or 25%.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't have dead air.
It's just like
Because sometimes when you rant, you're just going. Especially if you're not talking to anybody. Once you're on, you're going.
he's going for like 8 minutes and the end of the video is him going. It's like a big.
What's a
stuff.
movie he hates though, like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Fantastic
Yeah,
Four?
he really didn't like that. Oh,
Batman
Batman
v
vs Superman, I
Superman.
think is the best one.
It's worth listening
Yeah,
to.
it's usually when it's an okay movie.
And I don't always agree with him, but
yeah,
he's
it-
interesting to listen to.
Yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Batman vs Superman was probably the best one that I'll ever do. And again, it's got to be such a shit show, train wreck of a movie, for it to like really get him to that point.
He almost makes me hope Suicide Squad is bad.
Man, I want it to be good.
I
want it
do
to
want
be
You know,
it to be
it's
good.
sad that I'm looking forward more to Suicide Squad than I was to Batman vs
Well,
Superman.
it's
I still
different.
haven't
It's
seen
different. It's
Yeah,
something-
Batman
It's
vs
it's
Superman.
fresh.
Yeah.
We've seen Batman. We've seen Superman.
that. And it doesn't
Yeah.
have, I'm not mad bashing Zack Snyder, but he's not directing that one.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. I mean I'm kind of like done with Zack Snyder's films for the most
Mhm.
part. You know, there really hasn't been a good Zack Snyder film that I've like truly enjoyed as a whole since like Dawn of the Dead.
Well,
I like
a
300.
couple of weeks ago, they,
300 like was good.
a couple
Not
weeks
there was
ago-
some, but like they're going. Each movie is less. Like Dawn of the Dead, I thought was great.
Like he hit his peak with that, and then
300, Watchmen.
they're trying hard. A couple of weeks ago, they had a set visit for like a whole bunch of critics.
I heard
Really?
like
Mostly
that.
people who didn't like
For
it.
Justice League?
Yes,
Or-
for Justice League. And the critics came back saying a lot of the stuff they're changing looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's like the reason they did this was because they need to change the conversation.
Yeah.
No, okay, so just
But Devin
Question.
Faraci went there and he said, you know what, the film looks like it has some heart. And
Really?
Yeah.
now just a
Let's
question
hopefully they keep Zack Snyder out of the editing room and shit
about
like that.
Zack Snyder. Does his original IP stuff just not do well, and remakes and
So-
using?
Sucker Punch, I believe, was an original
'Cause
IP that
that's what I'm
he
asking.
created, and it didn't do well. It was
Yeah.
financially disappointing. However, I actually enjoyed that movie,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why. Because
I haven't seen them though, so.
yeah, I'll tell you why I enjoyed it specifically. The movie's not great,
Mhm.
but visually, you're getting a nice visual action film. You know, like you're getting a very well done visual film. The substance is okay. The plot is okay.
You know what? That's a movie Bob review you should watch.
Movie Bob, really?
Yes, for
Okay.
Sucker Punch, because he actually liked it and he actually came up with some things I didn't quite see in the film. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I dug the film, but again, like it's one of those things where like I recognize that I'm in a minority on the film, and when I saw the trailer, I was like interested because the trailer has like zombie Nazis, fire-breathing dragons, and like a robotic train. Like there's all these
A
different
robot
set-
samurai.
I want to
Yeah.
play that game.
So there's all these different settings in this one movie, and then
It is a video game.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like a video game. in
Yeah,
movie form.
yes, that is exactly it. And so you get all these different settings in this one movie, and I was like, how the fuck are they going to do it? And then it starts off with a really weird note of the main character, and she's not even the main character in the movie, I feel like. Like argument can be made different ways. But the lead that you start off with basically gets sent off to a mental institution. And then you get the whole, speaking of mental institutions, you get a whole like thing of like, is this bitch just crazy? What the hell's going on? Type of thing. I dug it, but at the same time, I could recognize why it didn't do well.
Okay, I can see that.
You know, again, it's like it's kind of like Nice Guys, the movie that just came out
Yeah, I
recently.
haven't seen it.
I thought it was amazing, but I don't think it did very well in the box office. I think it did pretty poorly, but I think it's a great movie, and it's kind of like the argument's always made is like all we're getting is remakes and reboots and rehashings of old franchises. When we get a new IP, nobody goes to see it. You know,
People want to see John Wick.
true, but
That
however,
got a sequel.
No, it got a sequel, but again, you know, did we see it opening weekend? You know, by the time we saw it, I mean,
But one of those
I
things that,
saw it. It had to be word of mouth, and it was good.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to promote, you know, Nice Guys, but again, that's a word of mouth type of movie. You know, it's just one of those things where like, even with that had a pretty strong marketing, I think. Nice Guys, I think pretty much everyone saw the trailer for it and said like, oh, okay, that seems interesting.
Well, there is hope because as of this recording, Independence Day 2 is tanking. Opening
Is it?
weekend.
Well,
Yeah, it's doing pretty poorly.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
I wasn't expecting.
The second, you saw that already?
Yeah,
It just came out Friday, didn't it?
I saw it on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Elizabeth took me to
you're
see it.
dedicated.
Oh,
Okay.
that's nice.
But I think it's projected to do like 40-something million.
Ooh,
in the
that's
opening.
not good. That's not good.
I wish I had
50-ish,
40-something million.
No, but I mean,
if we had it, yeah, that's not bad.
For
but
a
yeah.
super huge summer blockbuster film.
That would have 100 and something million, being generous because I don't know the exact number right now.
100 million would have
Budget?
been like out of budget. I think it was.
I don't know the budget.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
being
I don't know.
generous. I'm being.
The
very
budget was over
conservative.
150.
Yeah.
How much? Yeah, so
Yeah.
40 million is
Yeah.
bad.
But Roland Emmerich is not a good filmmaker.
Who was that?
Roland Emmerich is not a good
No.
filmmaker.
Well, I think he peaked
And
with
a lot of
Independence Day.
people hated the first one.
A lot. I enjoyed it.
There's you either
Yeah.
loved it or you hated it. That's the,
I don't
the
know.
things I ran
I feel like it
into
was
with
more
that
of
movie.
a
You know,
positive than
if you
negative.
saw it at the time, it was different
Yeah.
than if you
Yeah.
watch it now. Because at the time, those effects were kind of good.
They were good.
Yeah,
No, they were. No, for the time.
And I think a lot of them
I
were.
think if you classify the
models.
fact that it's Earth versus flying saucers, that's the type of movie you're going to see. That's what we
Yeah.
got.
It, like I said, it's like Jay said the best. I mean, for the time that film came out, it was great.
But it was an
Yeah.
We
updated
said
B
it so
movie
far.
for me, so that's why I enjoyed
That's
it.
true, and I couldn't stand Randy Quaid's character. I fucking hated
That was a
him.
little too much. He was a little too over the
Oh
top.
my god.
He was a little too Randy Quaid.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
took away a lot from the movie.
Yeah, like the same argument though could be made for Will Smith though. You know, I liked him.
I
Though,
don't think
but,
it's the same movie without him though.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the argument can be made that Will Smith was too Will Smith. You know, I liked it. I mean, I dug him.
Well,
in
at
it.
the time, he was one of those actors where if you hired him for a movie, you're
Not yet. He didn't get the notoriety yet at that
But
point.
he was still Fresh Prince. So you're not hiring Will Smith. You're hiring Fresh Prince.
You think that because people went to go see it because they really love Fresh Prince that much?
No, I'm not saying that a lot of people went to go see it. I'm just saying that when you hire a certain actor, sometimes you only hire an actor to do certain things. Even if they have a full
Oh, because
range
this is his
of
wheelhouse.
acting, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is what
Yeah.
we know you can do well
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
So
that's what
like
I'm saying.
now you looking at Will Smith, he's a fully fleshed out actor.
He's
but-
got a lot of stuff under his
yeah.
belt so that he can do
In
series.
1996, though, I'm hiring the Fresh Prince.
I'm hiring this
Yeah.
caricature
Yeah.
of himself. Yeah,
So
I get what you're saying. Yeah, 94, 95. I mean, at that point we just had like
Mhm.
Bad Boys
mhm.
1 and
That was up.
Men in Black come out yet?
Men in Black did not come out yet.
No,
I don't believe
no,
so.
not
I
yet.
believe it was shortly after though.
Sure.
Yeah.
But again, like he started to. I mean, this is the point. I mean, for like I think a period of 10 years, he would only come out with maybe a movie every year or every other year.
If even
He was very specific with like the movies he came out that
Yeah.
he
Mhm.
chose.
he hadn't done drama yet, and people didn't go, "Oh, he is a good actor."
I think he did
Oh.
6 Degrees of Separation by that point.
Yes, he already done that.
I think he
okay,
done
I haven't seen that.
Which was also a good movie.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a good movie. Yeah. Will Smith, I can only say that the only bad movie, and I didn't even watch it, was the one he did with his son, After Earth.
After Earth.
Oh, after.
I didn't see
I
it.
thought you were gonna say. The
I haven't
other
seen
one.
it either, but I thought you were gonna say Wild Wild West.
Damn, what was
Okay.
What he did with his.
I'm
son?
gonna say something about this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. I actually like Wild Wild West. All right. Now, I
We own
understand
it.
it's not a good movie. I
Okay, but
fully
you gotta
embrace.
include it as not a good movie.
I fully embrace it's not a good movie. I don't know why I'm doing a black person. I was like, listen, that movie. Anyway, I fully understand that the movie is not good. However, when I first went to go see it, I had such a great time with the camp of it. And the giant fucking metal spider in the third act for no reason.
Oh, there was a reason. It
Yeah.
wasn't a good
There
one.
is a reason.
This is the reason.
Yeah.
You listen to
But, like,
Kevin
I-
Smith, he'll tell you
Yeah,
the reason.
exactly. So like,
John Peters.
yeah. I enjoyed the film though. I enjoyed it, and I think Will Smith actually came out afterwards saying what a bad choice I was or something like
Yeah.
that. I think he was up there with Bob Hoskins and Mario Brothers, like hatred on that movie.
Oh, okay.
You know, like Bob Hoskins hated Mario Brothers.
Oh, I thought you were saying you hated Wild Wild
No,
West.
no, Bob Hoskins.
Will,
came
why
out-
did you take that part?
He would have been a great Mario, but not in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. Bob Hoskins came out was very vocal about how.
Oh, vitriol.
Yeah.
Vitriol.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I know that word is because of how he felt about that movie.
What is really interesting?
And The Pursuit of Happiness is the other one I'm thinking with his son.
that was good.
But his son was really
Yeah.
not a person yet.
Yeah. What happened to fucking Jaden Smith? I feel like he like.
Went
Was
nuts.
he just living with like?
He grew up with
No, he-
money.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
didn't grow up with anyone telling him no.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you want to be an actor? Okay, we'll get that done.
That's
Willem,
like-
you want to be a singer? We're going to do that.
You see pictures of Ice Cube as a kid, and you see pictures of his kid, and he's like, why is he always smiling? You're never smiling. It's because he grew up rich. I
Yeah.
didn't. We look alike, but he has smiles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, what's really great movie is Straight Outta Compton. That was a good movie. That show.
I haven't
seen it yet.
Oh man, I recommend it. Eric lent me his copy. Amazing movie. Going back to like weird movies like I made. Have you I forgot.
And it could have had Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but he chose Fantastic Four instead. He fucking chose Fantastic Four instead,
And then
man.
people question why he didn't win the Oscar for
Creed.
Creed.
Creed was good. Creed was
Creed
good.
was excellent.
That
But
fucking one fight
Fantastic
scene
Four.
in Creed, where like the first boxing scene, where it's all
In
one
Mexico?
take.
Or the
No.
Oh, you mean okay? The first match that he has.
The
Okay, I
first
understand.
match where it's all one take
Yeah.
in the ring. I thought that was an amazing scene. That scene was like, wow, really got me into the moment. Anyway, I forgot who this guy is on YouTube, but he does these amazing little documentaries about how certain movies get made. All right, he does these like little 20-minute like shorts, and he did one on Street Fighter the movie, which I was actually very intrigued by. And Street Fighter the movie was another movie that came out at a time where I was like,
Late
oh,
90s.
early 90s. I think it was
Was it
I
early
would say
90s?
95, 90,
94,
94.
94. I think it was like 13 when it came out.
Let's find out when Raul Julia died.
Yeah, it's his last role. So,
This is so bad, I'm going to die now.
so,
I did Overdrawn at the Memory Bank, and that was better.
so
But he was so good at it.
it was.
For me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Okay, so
Exactly!
so the movie was created on such a weird.
Of course.
Of course, that's it.
So it was created at such a weird time, all right? Because like this is where like they're starting to bring out video game movies. I think Mario Bros had come out. Mortal Kombat was on its way out. So of course Street Fighter was in that whole mix of stuff that they want to bring video games to cinema. So the guy who was pitching the idea to Capcom had a writer, and the writer said, "I want to direct this movie. I want to direct Street Fighter." And I believe the writer also did Die Hard and a few other. Like he has stuff on his belt. Like the writer had done some decent films as far as writing, never directed though. So take that into account. And the guy who's doing the pitch says to the writer, I wish I knew the names. Says, "Get me a story by tomorrow morning. Write me a story by tomorrow morning. If they accept it, you can direct it." So the writer basically said, "Fuck, all right." He was given like a couple of guidelines. A couple of guidelines are, we need to introduce the 4 new characters like DJ, Cammy, and Tomahawk or whatever. They tried to introduce Fei Long, but because it looks too much like Bruce Lee, there was a
Yeah,
There
it'd
was
be a
a thing.
problem with that.
so. But he's even written into the film. I'm sorry, the guy who's supposed to be Fei Long is someone else.
Mm-hmm.
They just changed his name. So that was the guidelines, and it's like, and we want to basically create this as a launching point for, not a launching point, but like it should be a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. That was the idea they already had at this point. So Guile, and he should be like the lead. So they made Guile. It's like, all right, we'll just turn him into Guile or whatever. So basically, he had a couple of ideas. So we had to make Guile the fucking focus and everything else.
Was Ryu in the movie? I don't remember.
Right,
Yeah,
you
Ryu-
can. Everyone
Ryu-
else is in the
Okay,
movie.
they're in the movie.
Yeah,
Everyone's
everyone
cool.
from Street Fighter 1 and the original 2.
Yeah, everyone's in the film. You know, you have Vega, you have Balrog, everyone's in there. But some of them have really. But it's an overstuffed cast at that point. You got to think about that. That's 12 people. So he's like, I got to get 12 people in this one movie, but I still need it to be Jean-Claude Van Damme as the lead. All right. So he writes out this story in like a few hours. Gives it over to the guy. They approve it, and he's like, "You have the directing gig." Never directed a goddamn thing before in his life, and they started casting. And when they started casting, they said, "Well, don't worry about martial arts training. We can give you that training on the spot, on the job, and stuff like that." Well, we're looking mostly for someone who resembled visually the characters. We're looking for that over everything else. If you just happen to know martial arts, that's a plus. That's
Okay, you know martial arts, big deal. Ooh.
yeah. But then that's the whole thing. They wanted people to look at so all the fight scenes were choreographed by one guy, Benny the Jet Urquidez. He was trying to do the fight choreography for everyone in the course of like 3 weeks.
Go
You
on.
already see where I'm going with this. So this movie was meant like on a downhill spiral from the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And he basically just said like, you know, even if you look at it from like a directorial thing,
Here's some rope.
if they a little bit longer. Long story short, the guy never directed anything, and if you watch it, it looks more like he's directed a TV show. You see, everything is very straight on. Even the action sequences
Yeah.
are very thing. You know, like there's no subtleties in anything he's directing, and there was never any like, you know, like maybe we should go this way with this scene, or maybe you should go this way with the scene. It's like, here, just read this, make it happen, kind of thing. So that's why a lot of stuff. The only one who did anything really phenomenal with it was Raul Julia, because Raul Julia is an amazing actor.
God,
and that's really what it comes down to, and that's why he stands out so well. As
everything is just because his performance of it makes me want to cry.
But that's one of the things, because he's such an accomplished actor.
Yeah.
You get to that scene where he's talking to Chun-Li, and it's like, for you, it's like, for me, it was a Tuesday, and the way he delivers it is amazing. Everything he says is just beautiful.
Of course.
So. It was really well done thing. He does it to a lot of movies like that. He did one for Power Rangers too and stuff like that. The first Power Rangers as well.
Which is getting a new movie, but that's for a podcast another day. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up now
up?
because we ran pretty long.
Did we? All right.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I talked a
for
lot.
At the A Spot Podcast, I'm Wilson.
I'm Jay.
I'm LJ.
I'm Mark.
Bye.
Bye.
Out sync.
I'm sweating so fucking much right now. Right here, I have an undertit of sweat.
Why?
Hi everybody, this is Wilson from the A Spot Podcast. We are now starting a Patreon account where you'll get extra items that we're posting.
Yeah, you'll get advanced copies of comics. You'll get digital versions of comics that we've already put out. You'll get early access to videos.
Videos that'll have behind the scenes of us making comics,
making podcasts, convention information, all kinds of
convention
stuff.
info, and some freebies here and there.
We'll also be giving nice shirts. Not necessarily this design, maybe this design. We have a bunch of different designs that we've been working on before.
Maybe even that shirt. You can take it right off his body.
If someone requests it, I'll give it to them. But it's really large and smells like a dope.
So go to the link below and help us out.
Take off your shirt. Alright, nobody wants to see the stuff. Jump in the microwave.
And if you send $10, he'll put the shirt back on.
This is yours.
You earned it.